Alrighty friends, we are going to be doing another activity. We are going to be practicing our parts of an egg. There are lots of different parts of the egg that have some really funky names. So we are going to create our own egg today. All right, so something that you're going to need is you're going to need a white sheet of paper. And I'd prefer it to be all white, one with no lines. Obviously, if you don't have any paper except ones with lines, then that will work, but try and find a clean sheet of paper. You will need your markers as well. Markers or crayons, something for you to practice labeling with. All right, I'm gonna start with my pencil though. So for the parts of an egg, we are going to draw one big egg, okay? This is gonna need to take up almost all of your paper. Almost all of your paper. You can see that my egg is not this tiny. And it's not going off my paper. My egg takes up majority of my paper. So make sure you have that. This outside layer of the egg, this is our shell. So I want you to draw a line, attach it to the end, and you are going to write shell for me. We have the shell. The next part of our egg is right underneath the shell, all right? Right underneath the shell, and these are called the membranes, all right? So for this part, you're gonna act like you're drawing another egg. I want you to watch me first. I'm gonna draw basically another egg, but I'm not gonna make it as big as my other one, and it's not going to be super duper small in the middle. See how I'm staying really, really close to the side of that first layer, that shell? There shouldn't be more than like a length of a pencil difference, okay? So see how it's super duper close to that outside layer of the shell? This is called your membranes. The membranes. So I'm gonna draw a line from that inner layer, the layer that we just drew, and we're gonna label that the membranes. You may need to pause the video if you're not ready to move on. I'm just gonna keep on rolling. All right, after we have our membranes, we have the inner part of our shell. So this layer was the membranes. I'm going to be making another layer. So just like what we did with that second membrane layer, we're going to be making another one. We're going to be making another one. This is just to kind of help us see the different layers, and I'm going to make my line kind of go right in the middle. See how I went past my line this time? This is our albumin, or the white part of our shell. We noticed that when we looked at our chicken embryology book, when we were labeling, it says albumin. Albumin, or another way to call it is the white. Albumin, or white. Albumin or white. Alrighty. The next part, I want you guys to make a circle in the middle of your egg. Make a circle in the middle of your egg. You're not making it as big. This one is an outside layer, so you're just gonna make it right in the center, and you're gonna be making a little circle that we have going there. All right, this outside part I want you to draw a line to. We're labeling this. This is called the vitelline membrane. So our regular membranes is right outside the shell, but the one that says vitelline membrane, that is going to go right here. That vitelline membrane, or VM. All right. Just like when we did our shell and we did the next layer, we have something like that inside our circle. And we're going to make another little circle, kind of like what we did with the shell with that second layer. We're going to draw it super duper close, but it just needs to be another circle inside. What is this inside called? It's the yellow part of our egg. That should be the one that you probably recognize the most, and this is called our yolk. Our yolk. Our yolk. There's a part in this section, friends, that we have to label. This one's kind of hard to remember. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make a backwards C, or maybe like a half circle over there. This little pocket right there, that's called the germinal disc. The germinal disc. Alrighty, and friends, we don't have the yolk just floating in our egg, right? It has to be attached to something. Well, this is our really funny word, and what I do is I am going to kind of start at the bottom, and I make a squiggly line. Whoa, whoa. And I'm going to do it again all the way up here. Whoa, whoa. This, friends, is called our chalaza. It's a crazy name. That's how I remember. It's the chalaza. It's our squiggly line. It helps our yolk from floating off inside the shell. It keeps it in place. We have our chalaza. And then at the very top, where our chalaza kind of meets, I want you to kind of draw like a line up here. A line, and I'm going to color it in with my pencil. This, friends, is called your air cell. Your air cell. The air cell you guys are going to see when we do our candling activity, and you're going to be able to see that air cell and what it looks like from inside. From the outside, all we see is the shell, but we've learned that there's a lot going on inside of our egg. So friends, what I want you guys to do is I want you to color this. Now, what I want you to do is it's going to look like this when you're finished coloring. This is kind of a 3D one. This is one that we practice when we're in school, but since I don't have those materials, what you can do is this outside layer, that's the shell. I'm going to put them kind of next to one another so you guys can see a little bit. I know they don't all fit on the screen, but we have our outside shell. That shell I made kind of like a creamy color. So if you have a crown that's like a cream or a light brown, something that looks like a shell, you can go ahead and color this color, that shell color. And that's going to go all the way around, kind of like a racetrack. It's just going to keep that color. And then that next color, I just made gray. So what I would do is I would make this second layer, the membranes layer, from here to here. That's going to be gray. That's going to be gray. And then this inside, remember the inside layer, that's the albumin or white. So we're just going to keep that, just like over here, we're going to keep that white. My chalaza, my squiggly line, I made mine yellow. You can make yours any color you want. I just wanted to make it fun so you could see. The vitelline membrane, I went ahead and I colored that red. So this little layer right here, I went ahead and I colored that part red so you can really remember that it's the vitelline membrane. And then my inside layer, we know the yolk is yellow, So this part will be yellow just like over here. And then my germinal disc, I didn't really color in over here. But if you want to color it in, you can color it in with your pencil if you'd like. And then my air cell, I also left that with pencil. So friends, I am going to allow your teachers to just kind of have you look at this if you want for coloring purposes. And then you can label it at the bottom, the parts of an egg. Just remember, ours looks a little bit different because we're in remote learning this year. However, we still are learning. We're still doing these fun activities. So, I hope you guys had fun today. Don't forget to color.